So this is already shared with Jumi, so she's going to share it with everyone, right? There was a question yesterday asking that how do we get this chart that did I put it together? So I'm just going to show you how to get that, okay? So if you go to your Jira board, I'm going to go back to the Jira board now. So if you go to the Jira board, okay, so report is not showing here, but if you go to project settings, right, you can see features, right? So if you want to enable any features that is available, right, you can come here. So I'm going to enable reports. So now report is enabled. If I go back to project, right, you see reports. So report is not showing now. So when you get to report, you can see the velocity report, right? So you can see, right, because we did only 2 sprints, remember? In sprint 1, we committed to 26 and we completed 26. In sprint 2, we committed to 23 and we finished 14. And that's what we agreed, remember, like when we're doing the example. So that's how you get to the velocity stop. You can also see the sprint burn down chart, right? Obviously, because we just use it as an example. So this is the burn down, right? It's same day. It happened on the same day, but normally it will progress down like this for the next 2 weeks, right? If you want to, this is sprint 2. If you want to see that of sprint 1, you go to sprint 1. You can see because we did that over 2 days, right? So this is it. Most of our movements happen on this day. That's why as a Scrum Master, you need to tell your team, move your item, move your issue on the board, right? Because only if they are moving their issue on the board, it will show the burn down chart. So if you guys practice accordingly and you do it 2 weeks sprint and you're showing how you're burning down the rate of work, you will see how your burn down chart will be similar to the gray one, which is the ideal burn down chart. And you can always, use this to know which one you're trying to get. Okay. So that's how to get the reports, okay, from Jira. Okay, so that was where we stopped yesterday, and we said that today we will continue with our retro. But before we start our retro, I also wanted to watch an example of sprint review, right? So after that, we will now start our retrospective. Okay. I'm going to share my other screen so you can watch. Okay. Yeah. Optimize.
What this sprint review typically is we show you what we've done. You provide us feedback. If you have any additional requirements, the product owner, Melissa, will document those and make sure we add them to our backlog based on priorities and stuff like that. So with that, Melissa, would you like to show some of the great working software?
Well, we're really excited about this. The group has already developed this and tested it, so we're really excited to show you the new submission of a claim. So just kind of show you here. So basically they just hit create new, and then this is our form that comes up, and then you'll notice all the information they can enter. If they forget some item, we do have the validation built right into the form so that they can't make any mistakes. Awesome. Okay. And then after they have everything submitted, they just create it. You go back to the screen we were just on with all of the claims on it. Do you have any questions on that?
I think it looks great. I am so impressed that there's even anything developed after only 2 weeks. You guys are complete rock stars. Couple of things though, there's no phone number I'm seeing, and we're going to be doing some customer surveys, and so I think that's going to be required. And then wanting to make sure you can do some address validation for the post office. Is that something you guys can work on?
Yeah, those are excellent requirements. You bet. We will add those to our product backlog. And Melissa, our next grooming meeting, we will actually look at those stories and put them in a sprint based on the priority. So thank you.
Awesome.
That's exactly what we need, is some new requirements, things that maybe we never even would ever think of.
Awesome.
So,
I just can't believe that I'm actually seeing something so soon in this project. It's amazing.
it's neat, isn't it? In just 2 weeks, team, well done.
Good job.
I do want to thank you as well. Let's also thank our sponsor. We had several impediments. We had resources pulled from the team. Thank you for your support on that. That worked out really well. That allowed us to really focus on what we had to get accomplished and deliver this on time.
Absolutely.
So
Great.
thank you.
So you can see what they did there, right? So they were able to come together to do a review, right? So they showed the demo to the stakeholder. The stakeholder was happy with what they've done so far. They said, okay, this is good. This is what we want, right? And the stakeholder also gave feedback, right? So some of those feedback, they will take it over, add it to their product backlog, and they can take it for any sprints planning, right? They can decide that, okay, we want to do this in the next sprint, or we want to leave it in the backlog for some time and prioritize as necessary. So that's what happened in the sprint review, right? In the virtual world, it's always good to, have a presentation just to show, and all that. And I told you, some team might just be interested in the demo part more, right? So you showcase the demo, you talk about it, you collect the feedback and show them, talk about what you want to do next. Okay, so that's how the sprint review happens, right? It's easier because in this one, they are co-located together, but that will, like, our world has changed and we will not have this all the time. So you always have to be thinking of virtual and retrospective. And in the document I sent to you, I also added how to, things you need to consider, right? Running an agile in a retrospective environment. Okay, do we have any questions? Okay, so we go ahead with our retrospective. So I'm gonna first talk about it, then we go into it. Okay. Second. Into the shot. Okay. It wasn't giving me presentation mode. It was giving me another screen. So let me move it to there. Okay. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so sprint retrospective meeting. While we're talking about sprint retrospective the other time, we talked about the fact that you have to design your retrospective. Now, let me tell you something. You have to always make this fun for the team. You don't have to make it boring, right? So you have to understand that there are different types of retrospective that you can use, right? You don't have to use one retrospective. You can keep changing it, okay? And that's what we're going to talk about, right? Now, for your retrospective, this is how you design your retrospective. So you have 5 stages you need to think about when you're doing your retrospective, right? So the first thing I'm going to say is that your retrospective is the event, the final event of your sprint, right? And you have it at the end of your sprint, and it happens after your sprint review, right? It is very important part of your sprint, right? It is important part of Scrum. They expect you to do it, right? When you do this well, it enables the team, right, to continue to deliver their work, right? Well, right? So you want to make sure you do it well, right? And why are we doing retrospective? The goal is for us to inspect and adapt our work, right? And this is how you design and set it up, right? Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to set the stage, right? What do you mean by setting the stage? When you're setting the stage, you're just saying that you're making them welcome. You're trying to break the ice. What are the things you do to break ice? You can decide to go with weather reports. You can decide to do a game. You can decide to tell them to sing. You can decide to tell them to draw, right? Different resources. You have the drawer source, you have the sing it out. Like there are a lot of resources, right? You can do Kahoot. Like there are different things you can do, right? So, but you set the stage, you bring them in the mood. There are even icebreakers on Mural that you can use as well, right? Just break the ice. So after that, the next thing you're going to do is gather reports. You gather data. Sorry. How do you gather data, right? You are going to use one of these retrospective templates to gather data, right? When you finish gathering the data, the next thing you want to do is you want to generate insight based on the data you've gathered, right? Remember, when you gather data, you have information, right? But when you start discussing, you start generating more insight. You start trying to understand that, okay, this is good. The team likes it. The team wants us to continue this. Oh, this, they're saying that, okay, can we consider this next time? Is this something we can add to it? So you generate insight, you ask questions, you want to know more. Then you will come up with action items. Those action items are the things you're going to add to your board, right? And keep it there. Some people add it to their conference page and monitor it from there. So as a team, you decide where you want to put your retrospective action items and monitor from there and assign to people. Then you wrap up your retro. So this is how you conduct your retrospective. Now, the type of retrospective that you want to use to gather data, you have different types. You have the start, stop, and continue, what went well, what didn't go well, and what next. You can use the liked, lacked, longed for, length, right? What are the things you liked during the sprint? What are the things you wish we could have? What are the things you learned, right? For the past 2 weeks, what did you actually, oh, I've learned something new, you know, something different, or, oh, this part, I liked it. You know, you just write all those details based on what, you know, you've achieved or you learned or you wish was there during the last 2 weeks of your sprint. You can use the sailboat, you can use the 3 little pigs and the Amazon review. So this is what the start, stop, continue looks like, right? You're going to have everyone documenting what they want the team to start doing, right? What are the things they feel like we're not doing currently that they want us to start doing? What do they want us to stop, right? So what are the things they want us to stop, you know, and stuff like that? What are the things they want to continue that they are currently doing? The team will document, and you can see numbers. The team will also vote, right? They will vote, right? So they will vote items. You see, somebody said, stop, let's starting stand up late, let's stop it, right? So they got an action item, start daily stand up on time. 5 people voted for it, that yes, this should be an action item, right? So you can use this method for your retrospective. This is another method you can use for your retrospective. What went well? What are the things that happened, right? There was good collaboration, willingness to work on new tech stack, new team members onboarding going on. Like, what are the things, right? Have meetings mid-sprint to discuss future stories. You know, what went well? What are the things we want to improve? Before picking any story, each story should have clear acceptance criteria, right? So you see, these are the things they want to improve on. They want to improve on ensuring that every story have clear acceptance criteria, not just having acceptance criteria, but clear acceptance criteria. Then they put the action item, the things they want to action on. This is another way, right, to do your retrospective. You can use this board, talk about the things you like during your sprint, what are the things you learned during your sprint, you know, what are the things you long for that you did not get during your sprint, or what are the things you felt that was lacking during your sprint, you know. So you look back in the last 2 weeks and document those things. So this is another one. Another one you can use is the sailboat. We call this the sailboat. So what are the things that made us feel good, right, during the sprint? What is it that made us feel good? What are the things that will help us forward, right? What are the things we did in this sprint that will help us forward, right? Then what are the things that held us back? What are the future risks we can see ahead, right? The team will document this, and when they are documenting, they are gathering data. Then they will analyze that data to generate insights. Then they create action items from it. This one is also another one, right? We call it the 3 little pigs, right? The same thing. What did we do that just about hang together but could topple over any minute? So the things we do but need improvement on it, you document. What do we do that is pretty solid but could be improved? You know, what are the things that we are doing so well on but that we can still improve on it? Then what do we do that is rock solid? This one, nothing is good. Let's just keep doing it. Is rock solid, right? So we use this also to do a retrospective. I told you, you just want to be doing different ones so that people just don't, you know, get tired. The way you even set your stage, you can do different things. You can come in today and say, if I give you 100 million, what are you going to do with it? And people will start talking, you know, and you start getting to know people, right? Another retrospective you can do, another setting the stage you can do is you can talk to your team members. You know, tell me what your best food is. Tell me what your best food is. You collate everything and you start showing the best food, and you start asking your team member, who owns this best food? Whose best food is fish? Whose best food is jollof? And, you know, things like that, you know, just doing stuff to bring the team together. So you're breaking the ice so that the team will get to know each other. To which audience do we do the retrospective? Your sprint team, your sprint Scrum team, sorry. Your Scrum team alone, not your exec, no sponsor, no stakeholder, just your Scrum team, your product owner, your Scrum master, and the developers, okay? And the last one is the Amazon review. You can, this method is not common, but it's also another way to run your retrospective, right? Each participant will fill out one or this form. They want to talk about what were their expectation of the sprint. Have they been fulfilled? What are their experience? Do they feel happy with the sprint? In what aspect was in what aspect, right? In what aspect were they not happy about, right? So you read the review to them. They take 2-3 minutes per person. Then you rate the review, right? Like the way we rate in Amazon, right? They will rate the review. So everyone will get sticky note and write their review based on some of these things, okay? So this is another method in which you can use for your sprint retrospective, okay? So now we'll talk about how to do your retrospective, setting the stage, gather data, generate insight, decide what to do, and you wrap up your retro. And you can use this different method to gather data. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Efosa, did you get the question, the answer? Your Scrum team?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. So with that now, we're going to do our own retrospective. So imagine us having a retrospective now, right? I'm going to do setting the stage, okay? So now we're going to do set the stage. Set the stage, as I told you, is just ice breaking. Do things to break the ice with the team, to interact with the team, you know, to get to know the team, okay? So we are going to do our own icebreaker now. So our icebreaker is going to be a Kahoot game, right? Don't worry, it's not something you have to think too much about. It's supposed to be something relaxing, right? So when you do those kind of things, it's going to be something relaxing. You are not, you know, it's not about you, how do I put it? You're not doing it in such a way that you want to try and get something from the team. Maybe you want to get update about work. You understand? That's not what you're doing, right? You're doing it just to, you know, feel cool, make the team feel relaxed, because you're about to talk about work again, right? But you want to talk about work in a fun way, okay? So right now, I'm setting the stage. We're starting our retro. and we're going to have some questions that we need to answer. Okay, now the game we're going to be playing is about celebrities. I want to believe that most people that we have here are Nigerians or Canadians, right? Let me see the list. Hopefully, if you are not, please let me know, okay? So you can join this, right? For those that have not played this before, I want to believe everyone has played this before, right? Because I think we've done Kahoot in this class several times, I hope. So, but I'm going to explain it again, right? So you go to your phone, right? And you go to kahoot.it on your phone. Or is it kahoot.com on your phone, right? It's going to ask you for a name and a PIN. So you enter your name and you use the PIN on the board 2163634 to get in. Okay, so questions will come up on the board. You're going to see it on the screen. Questions will come up, and when the questions comes up, comes up, you use your phone to pick an answer. It will give you 4 answers on your phone, and you pick an answer. Okay, so I'm going to give us more time so that people can come in. Okay. Oh, Kahoot. Yeah, I think I stopped in the one after some time. And it's not like I didn't have questions, though. I had questions, but it was getting heated. Okay, so the game we're going to play today is about celebrities. How well do you know your celebrities? So that's the game we're going to play. So, but have it at the back of your mind that this is like an ice-breaking session, right? So when you're doing a retro, right, you can do Kahoot, you can do, there's another one called, is it drawer source? Wow. Continue going in. I'm going to put the PIN number in the chat. The PIN number is 2163634. Okay. Drawer source. Okay. So this is another one, right? You can use it as a guessing on drawing game, right? I'm just showing you. We're not doing this one. Okay. It's a guessing or drawing game. So I'm going to do quick game. So this one is just something like this. I just enter the room, right? So they will put a word that someone should draw something, right? Then you start drawing that stuff. So someone is drawing this, they will give you timing, right? So someone gets something, then they will look at it if it's right or something, right? It's just a game stuff. You're going to create a room. This, I just entered a room, someone's room, right? But normally the Scrum Master will create a room and send it to the team member so that it's only them that can be in that room and only them. Okay, so this is just a sample of what is happening, right? So someone is drawing something and others are discussing that, okay, they are trying to guess, right? But they will, at the top, you can see the numbers there showing you the number of things, the number of the word, right? And someone is trying to get what the answer of this is, right? And the person that gets will get more points, right? So Punk and Mark, they are playing the game, right? So this seems more to me like an anchor, right? Exactly, it is an anchor, right? So something like that, and then point. I'm gonna go out now because I'm not playing. Okay, so that's how to play that game. Yes, anchor, you got it. So you do, yeah. So that's how to play that game. There are other ones you can use as I'm trying to remember this one. Is this sing? I can't remember the name. I think it's sing it. It's a song. You guys will be singing, then they will try guess the person that sang the song. So different ones you can do, right? But we are doing Kahoot, okay? So I'm going to start the game. I realize that some people don't want to join, okay? We'll give 1 more minute for others to join, okay? Don't worry, it's not hard. Don't be scared, okay? You can join on your phone, okay? Just click on it on your phone. You put a name and the PIN, okay? Okay, we're going to start, okay? Third game. Celebrities, here we come. Let's see, how well do you know your celebrities? He's a Canadian singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. What's his name? Oh, good job. You guys know you. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's a good one. Let's go to the next one. Who is leading? D. JK. Blogs. Donkey. Mimi. Well done. Let's see again. Who? A Canadian rapper, singer, songwriter, and actor. What's his name? Let's see those one who know. Oh, everyone is just picking answer that Drake. Okay, it's the first one. It's the first one. It's Graham. But I know a lot of us know him as Drake. Drake. We have D Blocks Canada. New people, new set of people on the block. Let's see. Let's move ahead. We still have a lot of questions. A Canadian actor, and he was a cast in which of the following movie? He's a Canadian actor, and he acted in one of these movies. You guys are bum. Thank God nobody speak Oloturi. I would have said Oloturi. No way. Let's see. Okay. D. You must really know all these people. You're still leading the board. What is the full name of Don Jazzy? Let's see. Wow. Just 11 people? Really? I thought it was popular. Okay. Let's go on. D. Oh my God. Really? Are you a Canadian? I want to know who D is. He doesn't know Don Jazzy. Okay, let's see. Next question. That should be an American Nigerian singer, songwriter. What's his name? Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Okay. D is out of the space. D, what happened? Come back. So this song was sung by one of these artists below. Oh, I see D, I see, because I'm like, okay, Len. The video, yes, Len. And I was asking, oh, Len, just use opportunity to learn. Okay. Question number 7. A Nigerian actress, producer, and director, she recently produced a movie showing on Netflix. Just learn, okay? Yes, correct. Lion Art. Lion Art was the movie. Okay. Well done, guys. Let's see. A Nigerian musician, singer, songwriter, and businessman. Just keep learning. I'm like, oh yeah, just like, what's all this? I don't know these people. Yes, this is what we call the bunch. Okay. Okay. Let's see the next question. I am a gladiator in suit, because that's what you have when you work for Olivia. What movie was that? You should know this one. Damlola is just giving us expos. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Yes, the movie is Scandal. Scandal. Let's see how many people got it. Really? Get Away with Murder? Who pick Oloturi? Does this Oloturi that okay, gosh. Ah, blogs, you're leading. An American actor, comedian, writer, and singer. It's popular. I expect us to know this one. Good job. A lot of us got this. Good, good. Blogs, you're on fire. You've gotten 10 answers straight. I can see Ayomiko on the board. Oduayo. An English actor, writer, producer, rapper, singer, songwriter, and a DJ. What's his name? He's a popular guy as well. You should know. Well done. Wow, a lot of us know this. Good, 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 good. Okay, let's go to the next question. We have a man who hangs around a beautiful girl without saying a word, ends up fetching water for guests at her wedding. Who normally says this proverb? Good, 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 good. Yes, it's Peter Doche. Blogs, they're on fire. And you have come back 3 rows up. Well done. Let's see, question 30. How many kids does Wizkid have? He's a popular guy. Daphne is one of superstars in Nigeria as well. And let's see if people really know him well. Really, he has 4 kids. Everyone don't know this one. Oh, let's leave that. Oduayo. He has 4, yes, only 4. Oduayo, you've taken over from blogs. Mommy Avia, you're climbing up. A Barbadian singer, actress, and businesswoman. For the ladies that use a makeup brand, they will know this very easily. Guess what? It's showing in a picture. I'm giving you a expo. Really? It was showing in a picture too. Fenty. If you look at the picture, you see Fenty. Beauty by Fenty. Oh my God. It's Rihanna Fenty. Fenty Beauty. Okay. Okay. It's taking over. Okay. We have this is a scene from one of the movies. So this scene is from one of the movie below. When this guy was still young. Yeah, comedy is very funny. Good job, good job. It's on Netflix. If you've not watched it, you can go watch it there. Miss is leading right now. A scene from one of the movies below. So this scene is from one of the movies below. If you know this lady, you know the movie and you know the scene. Olivia Pope. Good job, good job. Olivia Pope is a very popular, movie. Scandal, I mean. And Olivia Pope acted very well in there. Okay, we still have, I think it's the same set of people leading. Well done, well done. You guys have removed blogs from the list. The movie Pretty Woman was released in what year? I know this one is hard. Lady woman walking down the hill. You sure? $19.90. It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. How do I ever talk about phones? Question 18. Coming to America was first released in what year? Nine people got it. Well done. She's back at the top. She's back at the top. W has the strike, fire, 6 in a row. Question number 19. My Heart Will Always Go On. The song was written and sung by well done. Oh my God, you guys are lovers. Well done. Miss PK just in the lead. Oduayo. Blogs is back. K. Ayomikon, well done. W, 7 strike. 7 streak. You're on fire. Okay, final question. A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets. This was said by Rose in what movie? The movie is for lovers too. People that love. Let's see. A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets. Titanic. Oh my God. Almost everyone got it. Oh, we must really love that movie. Titanic. Yes. And that ends the game. For our celebrities here, we have Blogs in 3rd position. We have Oduayo in 2nd position. And we have, for the 1st position, Miss Pinky. Well done, guys. Well done. And runner-up, we have K and Ayomi. Ayomi Kun, I think.
Can I give my vote of thanks now? Please speak.
Well done, well done, well done. Sophie, are you there? No?
Yes, Sophie, I was speaking.
Nice, well done, well done. Who is Blogs? Oh no, man, you were K. Oh, who is Blogs? I can see Oduayo already. We don't know who Blogs is, or we don't know who Blogs is. Michael, you are Blogs. Okay. Interesting. You guys just form names. That was good. Well done, guys. So now we've set the stage. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our retrospective. Okay. And remember that when we're doing things like retrospective, we use our board, right? Because it's a collaborative effort, right? So it's not something we do alone. Okay. So I'm going to send us the link. I think we should all have access to it, right? It's still the same Mora board we've used before. Okay. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So what we've just finished is what we call setting the stage. And I said you can use different methods, right, to set the stage, just to put people in the mood and all that, right? Now we want to gather data. Okay. And for you to gather data, you need to prepare something that the team can use to gather data. Okay. So you're going to come in. I put the link in the chat. you're going to come in, right? So you should have access because I think we've used that for access before. So you come in here, right? I'm gonna put our timer, okay? So if you can't see this, scroll. There's this button. Can you see this at the bottom? It's the same one we used to for our working agreements, that we use for discussions, that we use for our story mapping, right? If you just come towards the end, if you drag the arrow and keep going towards the end, you'll see the board, okay? You're going to drag your sticker as usual, right? You drag your sticker, you pick it here. So what you're going to do is the first box, you're going to talk about what you like. So we've been here for almost 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right? You need to talk about the things you like during this training, right? The training, the information, the questions, the interaction. What are the things you really stop carrying our board? So what are the things you enjoyed, right? That you liked, right? What are the things you learned, right? You know, we try to use Mural. We try to talk about the planning poker, you know, so we try to showcase Jira and all those things. What are the things you learned? What are the things you can say you learned, right? So you put that in the learn part. Also, you come down, you'll see another box here. You're going to put what is the one thing you long for, right? One thing did you long for? And what thing that you feel like, oh, this thing lack, or I think we can improve on this, right? What do you think lack that we can improve on this, right? So we'll do this. I'm going to give us 5 minutes on the time. No, I'm going to give us 6 minutes. Let me give you 7 minutes, okay? I'm going to give us 7 minutes on the time. So if we do 7 minutes, we're going to finish. No, let's do 10 minutes. No, that's too much. I want you to do I still want you to go on your break. So we'll do 8 minutes, right? Timing for you to put those information, right? So when you put in your information in the 4 boxes, right, you go on break. Your 8 minutes will be 9:06, right? You take 5-minute break, right? And by 9:11, let's say 9:12. By 9:12, we're back in class. So put in your information, then you go on your short break and come back at 9:12. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. 8 minutes to get this done. You pick your sticky notes, you drag it, right? Put your information by putting this, right? Then put them in each boxes. Let me know. Is anyone having issues before I go get water? Odwaya, you requested edit access. Let me try again. You can try now, Odwaya, okay? Efusa requested edit access. Okay, we should try now. Efusa. Tommy requested access. Let's give Tommy access. It should send you a link in your email, then you can use that to log in, okay? You should have access. Onanuga requested access. You should have access now. Check your email. Your invite will have been sent to your email. Okay, I think that's all the requests. Okay, so you can see people on the bar. Okay, so just try to remember. I know ours was not 2 weeks, ours was almost 4 weeks, right? But try to remember right? All the things we've been doing for that 4 weeks, the classes we had, the instructions, how we collaborated, the homeworks you had, you know, the exercises, the videos. Just think through the questions, you know, and document the things you like. And, you know, also, as you put all those things you like, then take about 1 minute to also talk about the things you know, long for or lack. Okay. I'll be back shortly. I'll go take water, and I will be back at 9:14. Okay, 9:14. Okay. Well done, guys. Okay. So we can now continue, right? So remember, we did setting the stage. After setting the stage, right? After that, we did gathering data. So what we just finished now is gathering data. So what we are now going to do is we're going to generate insights. Okay. So damn Lord, they say you finish the sticky notes. Now it's time to generate insights. Okay. So now let's do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to review what we've documented, right? Anything we've documented under right? Under things that you've learned, it means that we'll continue doing them. Okay. Then anything we long for, lack, then we can say, oh, let's see what kind of action can we get from it. Okay. So we look at the liked, right? We see that we love the videos, the team collaboration, we like the videos, the facilitator and teaching style. The session was really practical, went beyond PM and Scrum. I understood a bit of BA more. Florence is great as what she does. Delivery was amazing. We talk about ability to adapt. We talk about the quotes. I like the fact that we have practical than theory, the use of different software, simulation videos, the collaboration tools, the case study, hands-on of the nature. So you can see that most of everything we're doing, we like it, right? I like this one, study content, the teamwork, the breaks. I'm glad that someone mentioned the breaks, right? Because I remember, I think in our last class, we used to have just 5-minute break, right? But I think this time around, we implemented more breaks. I think we do 10 minutes, right? And we don't start the class until 8:05 to give people time to settle in. We didn't used to have that before. We used to start 8 o'clock on the dot. So when people were saying, no, give people time to settle in. So we implemented the 8:05, rule. So I'm glad that someone mentioned that the breaks, that's because it was something we implemented, which I feel is good. We talk about the things we learn, use of Mural board, use of Jira and Confluence, Mural, Jira, Confluence, the insightful videos, the executions, the different roles. Learned a lot from the little days I joined. Okay, so now we have all that, right? So if we go to what was longed for and what was lacking, right? So under the longed for, there was something saying introduction and demo of Miro, right? Guys, right? Miro and Mural is the same thing. I've told you, if the organization they use Miro, it's the same feeling, no difference, right? It's the same like Mural, exactly. No difference, right? But okay, the only thing I can do is maybe in the next class I can just introduce Miro, because I'm like, Miro, Mural, the same thing. Why use the two in the class, right? So maybe I can just introduce it, even if we don't use it, just introduce Miro a bit, right? So I'm gonna have action items here. Okay, so I can say introduce Miro. Okay, so we'll look at the next item that we have. Say subscribe version of Jira and Confluence to oh my God. That's a lot, because you're going to be paying per person. I don't even know how much per person is. Maybe when we are trying to do the next session where we are trying to open a Jira instance, we'll look at the pricing, okay? So, but for this one, I will discuss with Black Force and see if there's something we can do. And I'll also do a research if we can pay for a 1 week on Jira, right? Give people access, but they will charge us for 1 week. I would see if it's possible. If it's not a 1-month charge, I will check. Okay. So action item for me is do a research on Jira subscription and discuss with workforce. Okay. Let's see if it's something that is affordable, right? Okay. Let's see what again. Scrum and learning how to use Jira. So I believe it's the same thing as this subscription, right? Because it's not everybody that will actually have access, but you can see me or people playing that role, right? Actual role play by class, like we saw in the videos. You know, for that to happen, we need a lot of support, right? We need a lot of support. It's possible. It's just that we need people that are dedicated, right? Right. So if we want to do an actual role, I never thought of it, to be candid. It's not something I've ever thought about. Like the team playing a role. I always believe that you play that role in your internship. When you're doing your internship with your team, you play that role with your group. That's always my understanding. But I can look into this because I feel like you first need to learn, then now play. I try to put some of the roles, right? But not everybody will be able to participate, like because of the Jira, you know, not everybody can have access. But based on what we have here, if we can do the research, if it's something possible, then we can. So I will say based on the research. So what I'm saying is that there's a dependency, right? Based on the research, consider role play for Scrum, for a Scrum team. Okay. Okay. More classes. Who wrote more classes? You guys are not tired. Who wrote more classes? Scrum and longed for a separate class on Scrum, not clashing with other training. Okay. I think this will have to discuss with the manager, right, to see how this can work, right? Because I know a lot is going on as well. So that we can discuss with training manager on time, on training timetables. Okay. And a dedicated time for Figma and story mapping exercise. Yes. For Figma, okay. I'm not a UX UI designer. I can use Figma. I've used it to create stuff before, right? I can introduce Figma. It won't be perfect, but I can introduce Figma. It's something I can introduce, but I don't do it. I have people that do it, right? UX UI designers. But I can introduce it and show you the site and show you Damnola is exactly that we have another class. No, this action item is always for the next class. Oh, you did Figma and mapping in BA. Okay, so for those people that did BA, right, you will have done the Figma there. Okay, because it's really UX UI business analysts that do all those kind of things, right? Okay, so I guess you've done that in BA. Okay, thank you, Daphne, for that answer. Okay, so that shows that that has been done. So we will not capture that as an action item. So that's how you actually generate insight. Okay, so you guys will be discussing. Fine, it looks like I'm the only one talking, but I know some people are chatting, right? They are messaging, right? So normally you have that discussion like as a team. So the Scrum Master can ask questions. You guys will now give more answer, or you give more insight to that question, right? So that's it. Under lack, we said endless hours of lesson with you. You are sleeping the best. Great, thank you. Endless hours. Oh my God, you will get tired. I like to talk a lot. I try to minimize I try to minimize everything. I can, talk and give examples based on different experiences. But that's good. The engagement can be improved. So who wrote that? The engagement can be improved. Is it in terms of how we discuss with each other, or giving opportunities for people to talk more, or giving them homework to do? Do you have something in mind that you want us to think about? Who added that? Is there something you are thinking about? So that we can add it to the action items. No, nobody is talking. Who added that? Okay. We'll go on. If you want to tell me, you can add it or you can send it to me by private chat, okay? So that we can add it to action item. Lack the time to go over those videos now, especially now that I need most of them. You have to create time, okay? I think this is more like personal, right? You have to create time. Check the videos. I'm sure Black Post is going to put the videos online. You know, try create time and go through the videos, okay? So you try to do that, okay? So this is how you generate insight. So what we did was we've set the stage, you know, make everybody feel welcome. You gather data. You can use Mural. You can use Miro to gather the data, right? Some people use Conference. I will show you that in Conference now. You gather the data, you get your action items, and you wrap up your you get your action item, then wrap up your retro. Okay. So sometimes people wrap up their retro by saying, okay, are you guys okay with it? Are you good with the action items? Who would like to take charge of one action item? Someone can say, oh, maybe Jumi can say something like, on the clashing of the training, maybe Jimmy will say, oh, I will take this up, discuss with training manager on training timetable. They say, oh, Jimmy can say, oh, I will take this up. We'll now say, okay, let's assign this to Jimmy, you know, something like that, right? So we take up that work. So now we know all the details. We'll download this and we'll go put it on our Jira board. So when you click on the download, it comes up, right? So I'm going to save it. Save as. I'm going to save as retro. November 2023. Okay. So when you save that, then we'll now go to our Jira board, right? Our conference page, sorry. So under sprint 1, right, you can also create a retro, sprint 1 retro, right? You can add the discussion we just finished here. You can add image. So I'm going to look for it. I think I call this retro November 2023. You can add that. So you can add the retro, right? You can now create tables, right? To say action item, right? Assigned. Status. So all those items that we have as action item, you can now start listing them. I'll just put to discuss. Let's say we say discuss with training manager. Let's say research Jira subscription, right? So let's say these are our action items, right? We had like 4. I'm just showing you an example, right? And you can now say this is assigned to Jumi, and this is assigned to Florence. So you can add status here by clicking insert status. So maybe let's say this one is in progress, right? The first day you add it, it's going to be not started, right? But I'm just showing you how you can keep updating it, right? So this one can be in progress, right? Let's say this one we've not started, right? So the status will be not started, right? So as things are happening, then you can update. So you can have your retro here. So you can always come back to see the status of your retro, right? Based on the work you were doing. You can see the one so that when you are going into your next sprint review, you look at the ones you've closed, you can talk about it in your next sprint review. Okay? How to save a retro? Click here, open, edit. That pencil is edit. At the top, you see add image, video, or file. Okay? If you click on it, right, you pick up what you saved and attach, right? And you update. If you click update, it should come there. Okay? So that's how you do that, right? Now, you can also do retros in conference, because in some organization, they will do retros in conference, right? So this is a retro that you can do in conference, right? You see, you can add retrospective. So if you add retrospective, it's going to open up page. Like, it can give you a sample, right? Start doing, stop doing, keep doing, and you can put all your action items here. You write the dates of your retro, the name of your team, right? Who are the people participating in the retro? So let's say these are the people that came for the retro, right? You write their name here. Okay? You put their name here, right? You had maybe our team is called Olympic designers, something like that. Designers, right? Date of our retro. Our retro is today's date, 11/9/2023, right? You do your date, then you update based on what you want to do. Let's say if you use this, you update, you do the same thing, you generate insight and you put your action item here and you can assign it to people. Okay, so I'm going to publish that as well. Say I should add title, sprint retro. Okay, and you can publish. Okay, so you can do that as well. I know I told you before, right? When you come to home page here, you can, so if I create a page, right? You can see templates here. You can see templates. You can see sprint planning templates, right? Retrospect templates, product roadmap templates, right? You can see 4Ls. This is another type of retro. This one we did now. Love, long, you know, you see it there, right? If you want a SWOT analysis template, it's there, right? If you want to write end of weekly report status, you can have it. One-on-one meetings, right? What you expect them to, you know, discuss, your goals, what are the things you want to discuss, you can have it there, right? So there are lots of templates in Conference, right? It's not just to document artifacts, but there are a lot of different templates that you can always use for what you want to do. Okay, so anytime you do Conference in your organization, you can go there to, you know, get templates as well. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so that ends our retro. That's the end of our retro, and that's what you do in retro. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're also going to watch a video on the retro as well. Okay, I saw the question on the link. I'm going to share the link while we are watching the retro. Okay. So if I send you that link, right, it will take you to okay, I'll share you the link. Let me be playing the video for the retro, then I share the link. Okay.
So thank you for being with us throughout this entire simulation. This is the last part of it, which is the Agile retrospective. This is the last part of the ceremonies that happens in the life cycle of an Agile iteration. And the goal from the retrospective is for us to inspect and adapt what we've been doing. What's been working well, what needs to be improved. Without this meeting, to me this is the heart of the Agile process, we cannot improve on what we've been doing in every iteration. So a lot of people think, oh, I can just make the retrospective 30 minutes or I can cancel it. This is the heart of the Agile team's process. When we talk about what worked well, what needs improvement, we need to be open, we need to be honest, we need to talk about processes that need to be improved, but also team dynamics. So we had a lot of interesting things happen during this iteration, so we want to talk about all of it, whether it's team dynamics or processes. So go ahead and share with me what really worked well. What do we want to do more of in our next iteration?
Well, I think the testers did a great job of identifying the data that we needed to use for our test cases, and I think that really helped us make sure that we got the development done and met the goals of what we had set forth to do.
I thought it was very helpful to be able to help provide input on the actual design of the screen. Previously, that has just been something that someone's done in a vacuum and then given to us, and it doesn't make any sense. This was very helpful to be a part of.
Right.
Collaboration then.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yes.
and we were right there on the spot with the developer right when he was creating those screens, so we could help right there, real time.
So I heard getting you integrated in terms of providing feedback with the screens, collaboration and the pairing, actually just having business, all the people sit next to each other working, that all worked well. Awesome. What else worked well or needs improvement?
Well, I know that, I saw that Mo and Lucas and John here had a bit of a, different opinions on how they were going to handle the BizTalk integration, but it was really nice to see how the team kind of just self-managed and was able to come to a decision on their own. So I thought that was really good.
So team resolved conflict through their norms, right? Anything else on this side or on this side?
I think I need to probably reach out to a couple agents to get some of their input on some of this initial phases of the project, just because I'm concerned about their buy-in as we get going. So I'm probably going to need to reach out to some super agents and not just me to make sure that we've got the right visibility.
For the next iteration, can we add that to our action items list?
Sure.
All right, next needs improvement.
I think for some of the, when we did the task breakdowns, maybe looking at the screens a little more in depth to make sure we get them estimated correctly. We were off on a couple of those estimates, so.
Okay. And you're saying by improving pre-planning or actually like getting more details ahead or within the iteration
I
itself?
think within the planning meeting, just maybe we made some assumptions during that meeting as far as what was actually expected, and we should have asked a few more questions to get clarification on those screens.
Okay.
I think it'd also be very helpful if we could get maybe lunch once a week so that the team can have a working lunch to do pre-planning. So I think we had a hard time squeezing that in, so I don't know if we're prepared yet for Sprint 2 or Iteration 2 as much as we'd like to be.
Very good.
Also, in relation to our pre-planning, I think when we need resources outside of our core team to help us accomplish some of these, it might be better to identify that in pre-planning and give them a heads up. We kind of just ambushed them and they weren't really prepared to help us out.
So identify the shared resources early and let them know. Yep, Joel wasn't aware that we needed his help.
In the next iteration, do less of the manual testing and more automated testing, because I think our code coverage numbers were pretty low coming out of this first iteration. I think that's something we need to improve on, because as we move forward, that's going to become more important to make sure we have good regression testing plans.
And to go with that, it felt like, we kind of got the stories very late to be able to test them. It felt like the UAT was very squeezed for time. So again, doing less of the manual testing and automating the tests may help with that. So I think that's a great idea.
So getting the stories early within the iteration. Okay, so team, I'm wondering which one of those do you think are the highest priority ones that we should focus on for the next iteration that would give us the highest value? There's a lot of things that we can improve on always, but we can't do all of them. Which ones do you think, if you almost had to do a vote, which would be your top 2 or top 3?
Stories early.
Getting the stories early. Everyone,
Shared resources.
okay?
Yes. Shared resources.
Oh, and letting the shared resources know pretty early.
I think investments.
What's that?
I was just saying, I think the automation from the testing side, because if we don't do that now, it's going to keep taking out time as we go forward.
Okay, and I think, Michelle, you said you were going to reach out to the agents anyway. Okay, so Michelle, we've got your name on this one. So I'll just put an M here. And identify the shared resources early and get them involved. Who's going to run with that one?
Actually, I can, as a Scrum Master,
Okay.
during our grooming and pre-planning, we can kind of identify who we may need and then request them to attend the meeting.
Who can help move us forward from manual testing to more automated testing and take the lead on that for the next iteration?
So as the automation engineer, I will definitely take that, and we'll definitely start getting more automated testing early in the next sprint.
Very good, thank you. What about stories? Getting stories early?
I can take that on. It can help.
Okay. Team, thank you. You guys have done an outstanding job in this iteration, and you've done an outstanding job in this simulation. So I guess from all of us here, from the whole day in the life of an Agile Team Simulation team, we just want to say thank you for watching and goodbye.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Okay, so that's it. That ends the class, okay? Damilola, you said, if I remember correctly, you said user stories are usually user functional requirement. Well, because user stories are always more user focused, right? They are more user focused, right? So user story, you can use functional requirements as the most basis when you're writing user stories, but you can also use them for non-functional requirements, because in a project, your user can always also be a technical person, right? You can say, as a security analyst, I would like to do this so that I can, make this happen, or I can secure the application, do a security by design, right? So you can also write it for non-functional requirement, right? But most of the time is always very looking technical, right? But people do that as well. But most user stories are always, they focus more on functional requirement because they are very user-based, but it doesn't apply to only functional requirement. It can apply to non-functional requirements as well. It can even apply to transition requirement. This is how it works, right? They are all still business requirements will become stakeholder requirements, right? Stakeholder requirements will also become functional and non-functional requirements, okay? And you also have transitional requirement to do things that after you now have the new system, you won't need those things anymore, right? So everything stems from business requirement. They break it down to stakeholder requirement, that's gathering from different stakeholders. Then you break it down into functional and non-functional requirement, okay? So you can still write user story from that perspective, but most time you see it based on the functional requirement, okay? Because that's what the users really care about. That's what the business care about, the stakeholder requirement, okay? So that ends the class. When will you be coming? No, it's time. It's time. It's time. I should be on it, but my calendar is full. It's full.